Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. With the number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the U.S. nearing 1,000, including 8 now in Kentucky, authorities are rolling out increasingly drastic new measures, including a mile-wide containment area in one city. CBS's Michael George reports from New Rochelle, New York.
Officials across the country are taking steps to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
The numbers continue to go up. The numbers are going up unabated.
Outside New York City, a growing cluster of confirmed cases prompted the establishment of a containment zone in New Rochelle. For 2 weeks, schools and public gathering places within the zone will be closed, while National Guard troops are deployed to disinfect the area and deliver supplies. With nearly 24 deaths, Washington state remains the epicenter of the outbreak out west. Most of the fatalities are linked to a nursing home outside Seattle.
If we assume that there's 1,000 or more people who have the virus today, the number of people who are infected will double anywhere from in 5 to 8 days.
In California, passengers continue to disembark from a coronavirus-stricken cruise ship docked in Oakland. They'll be quarantined at military bases or sent back to their home countries. In hard-hit communities like New Rochelle, people are being warned to be ready for disruptions to their daily lives.
We would like the country to realize that as a nation, we can't be doing the kinds of things we were doing a few months ago.
President Trump went to Capitol Hill Tuesday to pitch an economic stimulus package aimed at limiting the financial toll of the coronavirus.
We're prepared and we're doing a great job with it, and it will go away. Just stay calm.
Some calm did return to the financial markets. A day after the Dow's biggest one-day decline, the index recouped some of its losses, rising more than 1,000 points. Michael George, CBS News, New Rochelle.
Back here in the Bluegrass, Governor Andy Beshear continues to reassure Kentuckians as the number of COVID-19 cases increased today. Kentucky now has 8 cases of the coronavirus. 5 are in Harrison County, 2 are in Fayette County, and Jefferson County has 1. No cases have been confirmed yet in eastern or southern Kentucky. The governor advised anyone who's 60 or older not to fly or take a cruise. The greatest impact is on senior living facilities. Beshear says visitation will be limited at state-run facilities and should be limited at others as well.
And I understand the individual emotions and pain that may come along with that, but we are doing everything we can to protect that loved one. And I hope people will stop and think, given that they could have this and not be showing symptoms, what it would mean if they were the individual because of wanting that visit that spread the coronavirus throughout one of these facilities.
The governor announced also another executive order allowing pharmacies to refill prescriptions for up to 30 days for non-controlled medication in any Kentucky county. We are also learning more about the patient diagnosed in Louisville. Officials there say the man visited the Muhammad Ali International Airport 3 times in the last 2 weeks. Since then, the airport introduced a 24-hour cleaning protocol. The health department says the risk exposure to other travelers is low. No airport workers have been quarantined. Walmart announces a new sick leave policy for those infected with the coronavirus. Officials say any employee that tests positive for COVID-19 will receive 2 weeks of paid leave. This comes after one of its workers in Cynthiana came down with the virus. If an employee needs longer to recover, a pay replacement option may be provided up to 26 weeks for full-time and part-time workers. Fears over the coronavirus have already shut down one Kentucky college. Berea College announced today that the semester will end on Friday. Students must move out of residence halls on Saturday. Officials say the decision was made to ensure student and employee safety in case of a COVID-19 case occurring on campus. Graduating seniors will still get their diplomas, but graduation ceremonies will be canceled or postponed. We've reached out to a few other colleges and universities across the state. EKU, Morehead State, and Asbury all say they are not making changes as of yet and are monitoring the situation. Transylvania University says its students are on spring break and a group meeting is tomorrow to discuss possible changes. Some more local school districts have canceled classes the rest of the week due to the flu. Now, you can find an updated list of our closings on our website, WYMT.com, and on the WYMT mobile app. One pediatric doctor in Corbin implemented new policies today in the wake of new coronavirus cases in Kentucky. WYMT's Katie Cook talked to the owner about why she's putting these changes in place.
When taking a trip to Corbin Pediatrics, visitors notice new signs on the door.
We have sort of come to the conclusion that our children are sometimes petri dishes for infections.
To prevent the spread of viruses, the doctor's office made some pretty big changes.
The biggest change we made at first was to make sure that our well child area and our sick area were completely separated, including the entrance to the building.
Sick patients and their families are even asked to stay in their car until a doctor is ready to see them.
She went in and signed them in, and then they will call when they're ready, and then you take them straight on in.
Wager says the process of getting care for his child did go pretty smoothly.
Say 5 minutes after she went in, she was called and went on back.
And this is all to protect children from viruses and to prevent those children from spreading it to the most vulnerable.
We have a lot of grandmas, we have a lot of grandpas who are raising their children, and in that instance they are going to be much higher risk, and so the kids will be spreading this disease and not realizing it.
Everyone we talked to on Tuesday agreed that during this time,
whatever's the safest for the community and for the kids,
measures such as these are for the best. In Corbin, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Dr. Christina Butler plans on keeping the new regulations at least through spring and plans to implement them again next flu season.
It's kind of been a rainy and gloomy day in the mountains. Now we've seen most of that rain get out of here, but still hanging on those clouds as we head into tonight. We'll go ahead and take you up to a few of those cameras. Interstate 64 in Morehead. You can see those gloomy skies really continuing, maybe clearing out a little bit before that sunset. At least we're starting to dry out a little bit here in the mountains. Interstate 75 into Mount Vernon. Looks like those roads have dried up quite nicely. They've been on the drier side over the past really couple of hours. You can see that here along satellite and radar. I know we got a nice downpour around dinner time here in Perry County, but that last line of showers are moving out of here. Now we'll hang on to a few as we head into tonight, but mostly just hanging on to those cloudy skies. Right around those mid to upper 40s, winds a little bit on the calmer side. Like I said, could see a stray shower or two for tonight, but we'll see those temperatures get warm once again for tomorrow. We'll be near those low to mid 60s, near 70 Thursday as our next system moves in. But that cold front will be strong, bring some showers and storms into the mountains, and looks like it brings us a pretty big cool down. By the time we get into the end of the week and into the weekend, I'll have more details on your stormy Thursday coming up in a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. Kentucky legislators move one step closer to banning abortion procedures. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports the Kentucky House passed a pair of anti-abortion bills today. House Bill 67 states that Kentuckians would not have a right to an abortion should the Supreme Court overturn the Roe v. Wade decision. House Bill 451 would give the Attorney General more power in prosecuting abortion law offenders. The legislation now heads to the state Senate for a vote. Local singer and songwriter Jimmy Wofford died Thursday. He was 85 years old. Before his music career, Wofford served in the Navy. He went on to move back to his hometown of Williamson, West Virginia after a brief time living out west. Jimmy had multiple songs appear on the Billboard music charts. He played with musical stars, traveled with politicians, and had a love for his hometown. He spent his final years at the East Kentucky Veterans Center in Hazard. His visitation is tomorrow from 6 until 9 p.m. and his funeral is Thursday at 1 p.m., both at the R.E. Rogers Funeral Home Chapel in Belfry. The United States Census is conducted every 10 years, and 2020 is a census year. The census is a way to count how many people live in a given area, along with other factors such as income and living arrangements. That then impacts money allocation to the area. Student leaders through the Kentucky Valley Educational Cooperative created an initiative called Every Community Counts to express the importance of people in Eastern Kentucky participating in the census.
Many of our county governments, that's how they plan for emergencies, to address emergencies in their area based on the population in certain areas. And if everybody's not accounted for, that's a real issue for local government.
Students have created commercials, social media campaigns, songs, and flyers to make sure people are informed. People will start receiving the invitation to participate in the census April 1st. You have 3 ways to respond, either by phone, online, or by mail. Navigating Pikeville Medical Center's 4 buildings and more than 1 million square feet can be confusing for patients or visitors. Now there is an app for your phone to make your experience easier. The Pmc Wayfinder app uses nearly 900 Bluetooth beacons throughout the hospital to guide anyone through the hallways. Marketing Director Al Greenfield says you can even use the app from home.
It will give you turn by turn to the hospital. Once you're on the hospital property and our Bluetooth beacons are picking you up, the app automatically changes over to the turn by turn for the hospital.
If you don't have a cell phone, there are also 7 kiosks set up throughout the hospital to help you reach your destination. The app requires Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and your location services turned on. You can use the app to get to any PMC branch. It is available on any Apple or Android device. From coal to space camp. Today at the Challenger Learning Center in Hazard, 4th graders from Corbin Independent learned how coal mining could be used in the future on Mars. Some believe there are minerals on Mars that could benefit Earth, and to get to them, you would use the same techniques as coal miners. Also at the center today was a former coal miner and governor, Paul Patton. He says the importance of education outside the classroom makes a difference.
This is a unique facility. Very few of them in the world, and we're lucky to have 3 of them in Kentucky because of some vision of people like people here in Perry County that realize the value of having something very unique.
Patton was involved in the process of bringing the Challenger Learning Center to Hazard more than 20 years ago. Coming up at 11, coronavirus concerns force the cancellation of presidential primary rallies, and we'll take a look at tonight's big win for one Democratic candidate.
And gloomy skies continue as we head into tomorrow, but more showers and storms expected Thursday. I'll have more on that coming up.